But this powerhouse is very significant.
This one here?
It is the powerhouse that is credited with the birth of the commercial industry of generating and selling and transmitting high voltage, three-phase, long distance.
Oh.
And it was the first powerhouse in the history of the world to energize an entire metropolitan area. It was the first powerhouse to ever establish the grid. And it didn't do it until 2 years later, 1897. When this was built and went online, no two powerhouses were tied together.
Oh.
So there was no standards. We have two standards. The utilities go with USERT national standards. Some go with NEC. And those are from people getting hurt and asking the question, how can this be avoided? Writing it up, putting it in both standards. And so standards started with this powerhouse in 1895. Well, actually it started in 1897 because a lower powerhouse was built and came on the grid or the distribution circuit to Sacramento, Station A. 2 years after that, one of the Colgate boys in that family built a powerhouse on the Yuba and came here to get the standards, built that to match the standards from here, and came 61 miles to Sacramento and came in on the grid. That was 3 powerhouses on the grid. 1902 up Highway 80, you've heard of Immigrant Gap?
Yeah.
Dutch Flat.
Yep.
Well, Alta's real close to Dutch Flat. Alta, there's a powerhouse that was built in 1902 over the hill, and I've worked in there back in the old days.
In 1904, right?
I knew not that. The wise guy. She's pushing him up.
I was getting ready to say, yeah. That went online in 1902 with 3 Westinghouse generators, 1 megawatt apiece. Now these are 750 kilowatts each, and there's 4, so that's 3,000 megawatts, or excuse me, kilowatts, or 3 megawatts. It has metal bearings here and here, and then there's another unit like this on the other side of the generator. The turbine has one of these on both ends of it. And so oil is brought around back there and goes in, drips in. Here, oil is put in like a engine block.
Not grease.
And if they want to check the viscosity, they unscrew this and dipstick check and test the viscosity of the oil. And if it's bad enough, then they will put that back in. And this, when you open it, drains all that oil out. Then you close it, and then you pour new oil back in after you've you take these out, lift this off, and you can get to the bearings. They're metal bearings. And if they need replacing, they would be. In the turbine, you have water. There's a flange on each side of it, and so in between those flanges is water. So that eliminates metal bearings with oil lubrication. It's 1.83 on the density scale, so that just sinks like a rock in the river. Here.
Oh, she.
Now, when you cut a lignum vitae
Can you
tree,
believe that?
they're extremely oily, so it's ideal for a bearing.
Wow. You're trying to cut that down.
Now here the oil is all
so cool.
dissipated away, plus a lot of it is ground off from the shaft.